Hello, yoga friends. Thanks so much for joining today. I've come to the mat to guide you through a sequence where we're going to connect with the water element. We have a lot to learn from water. It changes its form constantly from a solid to a liquid to a gas. And it can also bring about different emotions within us. It can be very meditative, thinking about a little stream, some rain on the window as you sleep. But it can also be extremely powerful, as in currents sweeping you away. So let's learn to adapt and flow with our breath from shape to shape. After all, the only constant in life is change. Today, if you have a couple blocks, they'll be handy, but not necessary. And let's start class today lying on our back with legs extended. Give yourself the opportunity to settle in. Embrace some stillness in the body so you can really feel the sensation of breath moving within you. Slowly invite that breath deeper, lengthening out your inhales and matching with a long exhale. And for the next 5 or so breaths, just let those waves wash right over you. Let's bring a bend into the knees so that the knees point up to the ceiling. And take your hands, bring them onto the top of your pelvis. So just notice where that is, connecting our legs and spine together. And let's just move our pelvis back and forth in a rocking sort of motion. Now you can imagine you have some water in the belly button, and when you would tuck your tail under, that water would roll towards you. And when you tilt the pelvis away, that water would run away from you. So just finding these gentle rocks, these gentle movements. Now let's come back to somewhere between those two, so the whole pelvis rests on the floor. Keeping your feet where they are, hands down by your side. Let's dig the heels into the ground, move the spine segmentally, so tuck the tail under. Roll one bone at a time up off the mat into a bridge. Then roll back down the same way we came up, really articulating that spine. Moving again, inhales to lift. And exhale, flow it back down. 2 more like that. Let's add on. As you start to press into the heels this time, rolling the spine up, lift your left arm to the sky, and we're reaching it up and back diagonally towards you. So also roll onto the right shoulder and look over that shoulder. Slowly roll back down. Now we're going to head to the other side. Dig into the heels, roll the spine up, right arm reaches to the sky and diagonally back behind you. Look towards those fingertips and roll back down. 2 more on each side. Inhale, rolling onto the right shoulder, left arm reaches back. Exhale, everything lowers. Inhale, reaching with the right arm diagonally. Exhale, lower down. 1 more to go. When we're done there, let's bring both thighs into your chest. Give yourself a hug and let the low back lift off the mat. Just rock the body from side to side. And we're going to change the direction, rocking forwards and backwards. Get a little bit of momentum. And every once in a while, you might test the waters and see if you can land on your sit bones in boat pose. Let's get a little playful here. Keep rolling back and forth. And every once in a while, play around, see if you can stick the landing. Let's do that one more time. Finding our boat pose. Oh. And whenever you're ready, we'll meet in a tabletop. Ankles can cross, hands find the ground. Walk those legs back so the knees are under your hips. Continuing on with the spine through cat and cow. Inhale, let the belly get heavy as you pull the heart space forwards. Tailbone lifts to the sky. And exhale, roll the spine the other way. A few more times on your own. Even let the eyes shut so that the breath can guide you. Now, water changes direction suddenly, so feel free to embrace some more circular movements, bending into the elbows, creating a barrel roll with the ribs, or find any sort of intuitive movements for the next handful of breaths as you move around. Coming back to stillness in a neutral spine, and we're going to sit your seat to your heels. Let's bring your fingertips back behind you. Draw the shoulder blades together and start lifting the chest and gaze up towards the sky. Take a couple more deep breaths where you are. And then lift yourself vertically again and walk your hands to table. From this tabletop, let's dip the chest and chin to the ground. Slide forwards onto the belly, point the toes, and we'll widen your fingertips off the mat, tenting them. Use a big breath in to wave the spine up. And exhale, lower down one vertebrae at a time. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, lower down. Two more. Bring your hands a little closer to you. Press your way back to child's pose for 2 breath rounds. Walk your hands towards yourself, then all the way back behind. And yet again, we'll gather those shoulder blades together, start lifting the chest up, and decide if you want to tuck the tail under as well to extend through the hips. Lowering your seat back down, walk your hands forwards to table, chest and chin lower to the ground, sliding forward to the belly. Widen those fingertips just as you did before. Inhale to lift the chest up, and this time exhale, drop the right shoulder, look to the left. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop the left shoulder, look to the right. Inhale to lift. Exhale, drop the right shoulder. Inhale to lift. Exhale, drop the left. Let's inhale to lift. Exhale, lower through center. Bring your hands close to you. Press back to child's pose. 2 breaths. Keep those arms extended out front. We're going to travel through a tabletop. Tuck the toes and press your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Get yourself comfortable here. You can look left and right. Let any tension fall off the face and even bring a little movement into the feet. Find any natural sort of movements that the body is wanting to take. And we'll come back to stillness. I want you to think about the way currents move in big circles. So they So we're going to move like that. Keep your hands where they are. Imagine broadening through the upper back as you pull the heels of the hands towards your heels and ride forwards to plank. From here, we're going to hover the knees off the ground, so bend them. Now, energetically pressing the hands away from you, so your hips go back to your heels in a crouching dog, and straighten the legs, downward facing dog. Let's try that again. Inhale, broaden through the upper back. That current's riding forward. Bend the knees, hover them over the mat. Press the hands away and straighten those legs, downward facing dog. Inhale, we'll ride forwards to plank. This time, exhale, let the knees lower to the ground, chest and chin. Slide forwards to the belly, point the toes. Leave the hands lightly by the side as you inhale, lift the upper chest. Exhale, meeting, downward facing dog. Looking forwards towards the hands, tiptoe all your way to meet them. And we'll find ourselves in a forward fold. Just let the body sway from side to side. Let the ripple get a little smaller. Find heaviness in the heels, softness in the knees as we roll up bone by bone to come to stand. Feel free to use your hands walking up the legs if that feels a little better. Eventually stacking your head on top. Let's take a big breath in, reach the arms by the ears, and exhale, fold forwards over your legs. Inhale, we're going to step the left leg back behind you. Exhale, lower the knee to the ground. Now, if you're using blocks today, they could be handy under the palms. As you inhale, come a little bit deeper into the hips. Reach the arms up towards the sky, arch in the back. And as you exhale, hands either find those blocks or the ground, tuck the back toes and straighten both legs into a pyramid shape. Inhale, tap the back knee down. Come forwards into the hips, arms lift up. And exhale, let it flow all back to a hamstring stretch. 2 more times like that. Inhale, arms reach to the sky. Exhale, shift the weight back. Inhale, ride forwards, arms all the way up. And exhale, weight goes up and back. From here, let's bend into the front knee, back knee stays lifted this time. Inhale, arms come by the ears, high lunge. Exhale, send the heart forwards, arms back to runners. One strong line in the back body. Inhale, just the upper back, or so the upper body moving this time, high lunge. Exhale, runner's lunge. One more, inhale to lift. Exhale, arms go back. We'll inhale to reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, bring them to the ground. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple the spine forwards to plank. Exhale, bend the knees, hover them over the ground. Press your hips back to crouching dog. Straighten the legs. Inhale, ride forwards to plank. This time, exhale, lower the knees to the ground. Then chest and chin. Slide forwards to the belly as you point your toes. Inhale for one small cobra. Exhale, pressing back, child's pose for 2 breaths. Let your hands walk towards your knees. Press yourself onto your seat. And then we're going to grow nice and tall on top of our shins. Let's bring your hands to waist and notice your tail. I want it to be reaching down towards your heels, and so your pelvis is in line with the rest of your spine. Wake up these big muscles, your glutes, your thighs, as well as your core hugging in, and let the spine get a little bit more spacious, reaching it up towards the sky. Begin leaning back, keeping this long line in the body, only as far as you want to hold yourself, and then pull yourself back up. Let's do that 2 more times. Lean back, nice strong line. pull yourself up. Last round. Shifting your weight slightly to the left so the right foot can step forwards. Hands are going to find the ground. Tuck your back toes and spring forwards with the left foot as well to Uttanasana, a forward fold. Get heavy in the heels, soften the knees as we roll back up to stand. Inhale, arms stretch up. And then exhale, we're diving back forwards over our legs. Inhale, your right leg steps back. Exhale, lower the knees to the ground. Option to use the blocks. Inhale, come forwards to the hips, arms overhead. Exhale, back toes are tucked as you straighten both legs, hamstring stretch. Inhale, tap the back knee down, arms rise up. Exhale, shift the weight up and back. 2 to go. Move with breath, let that take over. And so from this final hamstring stretch here, we're going to re-bend the front knee, back knee stays lifted. Take a breath in to stretch the arms overhead. Then exhale, launch the heart forwards, arms draw back, runner's lunge. 2 more. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale, send the spine forwards. Inhale to stretch up. Exhale, reach on back. Now we'll inhale to get long again. Exhale, touch the ground. Step your left foot back. Downward facing dog. A circular flow coming your way. Inhale, ripple forwards to plank. Exhale, bend the knees to hover. Press your weight back. Straighten your legs, downward facing dog. Inhale, wave forwards to plank. This time knees drop down, then chest and chin. Slide onto the belly, point the toes. Inhale for 1 breath in baby cobra. Exhale, 2 breaths in child's pose. Hands can walk towards you. Sit back onto your heels and then stack yourself vertically on top of your shins. So wake up those glutes, thighs, core. Hands can find your waist as you reach the spine a little taller. With control, we're leaning back and lifting back tall. 2 more, nice and strong. As you sit tall here, we're going to shift the weight to the right so your left foot steps forward. Hands come to the ground. Spring forwards with the right foot as well into a forward fold. Get heavy in the heels, soften the knees as we roll up to stand, bone by bone. Take a breath in, arms come overhead, and exhale, fold back forwards. Inhale, step the left leg back. We'll keep the knee up this time. Coming right up into a runner's lunge, so just lifting your torso off your front thigh and arms stretch back behind you. Let's stay here for 3 breaths. Feel the power and the strength in this pose. And using your next inhale to lengthen out the spine, arms come overhead. Now let's take those hands, one onto the front of the pelvis, one onto the back. We're going to flatten it out by softening the back knee. So your front hand is pulling up, your back hand is pulling down, getting a long tailbone again. And then bring the arms up, re-stretch the arms up overhead. From here, let's clasp the palms, right thumb on top of left. Bend into the elbows, bring the hands behind the head, and then squeeze the elbows in to cradle the neck. Start opening the chest up towards the sky, lengthening under the arms. Take 3 more breaths. Send the crown of the head back to the sky and reach the arms back up. Now we're going to send your left arm forwards, right to the back. Keep looking forwards, and then just let the mind go as the hands swing and make half circles below. Just let the arms sway. Try to keep the feet rooted. Let the mind just relax. Let the swings get a little slower. And eventually we're coming back into that twist. Left arm forwards, right to the back. We're holding here, so feel free to look straight forwards. Open the gaze out to the right side or even back towards your right thumb. Now, if you're looking back behind you, take a look forwards to the front hand. We're going to reach that hand all the way to the ground under the shoulder, and then take a look up at your right thumb again, stretching it up towards the sky. Let's take that top hand down, bring it to the earth, step on back, downward facing dog. Move the spine as a circle. Inhale, roll forwards to plank. Exhale, bend the knees, press your hips to heels in crouching dog. Straighten the legs, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forwards to plank. Exhale, knees lower all the way to the ground. Then chest and chin to slide forwards to the belly, point the toes. Inhale for a small cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Hands come closer to the knees, sit onto your heels, and then stack yourself vertically on top of your shins. Now, if you're using blocks today, take them and place them on their highest height, one on each side of your ankles. And if you're not using blocks today, I'm going to recommend that you just tuck your toes under so your heels are a bit higher. Find all those strong muscles again, get them to start activating, and bring your hands to waist. Inhale, grow a little taller. Now as we begin to exhale, start leaning back. Once you're back as far as you want to go, take your hands one at a time, reaching either for the tops of the ankles or tops of the heels or tops of the block, and start sending the hips forwards and heart up using those strong muscles. Press the spine back up all the way vertically. And for a moment, we'll sit onto our heels, both hands over the heart, feeling that blood pumping inside of us. Blink your eyes back open. Stand back up onto your shins. Shift your weight to the left side so the right foot steps forwards and hands find the ground. Spring forwards with the left foot as well into a forward hold. Start rolling the spine up. When you come to stand, inhale, arms stretch up, and exhale to fold. Inhale, your right leg steps back, keep the knee up. And when you're ready, we're coming up to runner's lunge. Keep leaning forward, stretch the arms behind you. So all this strength and stability we're building, this power we can find. And then on your next inhale, straighten out the spine, arms come overhead. Now we're going to readjust that pelvis. So one hand comes to the front, one comes to the back. Soften the back knee as you straighten it out. As if it was a cup of water, no water would spill out. Then bring the arms back up. Clasp the palms, left thumb on top of right, and bend the elbows to create a cradle behind the head, squeezing the arms in. And we're just opening up the upper spine. Lift the heart up, stretching under the arms. 3 deep breaths all the way down to the belly. We'll lift our spine back up, stretch the arms by the ears, and then find a twist by sending the right arm forwards, left to the back. And now let the mind go as the arms just sway, creating these little half circles, getting a bit of momentum, going from side to side. Slowing the motion down, revisiting this twist, right and forwards, left to the back, as the arms expand, decide where you want to look, forwards, to the left, or back behind towards the left thumb. Shift where you're looking, bring it back forwards and reach the right hand to the ground under the shoulder, stacking the left arm on top, and let's look up at it. Bringing your top hand down, step the back or the left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forwards to plank. Exhale, halfway lower the knees, press on back to crouching dog. Straighten those legs out. Inhale, ripple forwards to plank. Exhale, lower the knees to the ground, then chest and chin. Slide forwards to the belly, point the toes. Inhale for one small cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Let's walk our hands towards our knees, sit onto your heels, and then lifting vertically on top of your shins. Find those muscles nice and active and grow the spine nice and tall. Start leaning back and then reaching for the tops of the heels or tops of the blocks before we send the hips and heart forwards and up. Use the strength of your muscles to lift the rest of the spine as well, and sit onto your heels, hands over heart for about 3 breaths. Let it all settle again. Stand back up onto your shins as you shift the weight to the right, so left foot can step forwards and hands find the ground. Spring forwards with the right foot towards a forward fold. Bend into the knees, get heavy into the feet as the arm, or you roll up the spine. Inhale to lift the arms, and exhale, fold back down. Inhale, we're stepping the left leg back with the knee up. Left hand under the shoulder and stretch the right arm to the sky. We're starting in this twisted lunge, really grounded and rooted through the bottom hand, expanding through the top. And we're going to change our mind. Take the top hand, bring it down to towards the inside of the right foot, and then pivot and drop your back heel to the ground. So you start finding warrior 2 legs. Stretch the left arm to the sky, opening the other way. Now let that top hand pull you all the way up to stand. Warrior 2, look down your front fingers. And we're going to move again with fluidity here. So as you inhale, back hand can find your back leg, right arm stretches to the sky. And as you exhale, lean forwards, front forearm to front thigh, and then left arm comes by the ear. Let's move a few more times with breath. Inhale, lean back, reverse warrior. Exhale, come forwards, extended side angle. 2 more. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, extended side angle. Press powerfully through the legs, rise up, warrior 2. Straighten out your front leg, send the right toes to the long edge and hands to waist. We're going to take a big breath in to grow the spine a little taller. And as we exhale, fold from the waist over your legs. Fingertips can find the ground. Just let yourself ragdoll here for a moment, looking left and right, letting any tension go. Walk your hands forwards to find length from the tailbone through the crown of your head, and either tend to your right hand right below where you're looking, or take a block and place it there with a palm on top. Your left hand's going to reach around for the low back or the back of your pelvis. Start rolling that shoulder open, spiraling the chest to the left side, and possibly stacking the left arm on top. Take the left hand, bring it down to where the right one was. Now the right hand reaches around for that low back. Roll the right shoulder open and decide if you want to stack the right arm on top. Both hands come back down to the ground. Look towards the right foot. We're going to wander our way around into a lunge. Play at the palms and step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forwards to plank. Exhale, halfway lower the knees, press yourself back, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forwards to plank. Exhale, knees lower, bend chest and chin. Slide onto the belly, point the toes for a breath in and baby cobra. Exhale, child's pose, 2 breath rounds. Sit back onto your heels and then stack yourself tall on top of your shins. So reset up your feet, either tucking the toes under or block still on the highest height behind you. Hands come to waist and grow as tall as you can into the spine. Begin leaning back in one strong line, and eventually your hands reach back for whatever they're looking for there and revisit our camel pose. Now feel free to stay static here, but I'm going to invite us to come into some side stretches as well. So keep the right hand where it is. Take the left arm up to the sky and then look over your right shoulder. Switch sides, the left hand finds something solid. Reach the right arm up and look over the left shoulder. Bring your right hand back as well. Use those strong muscles to lift the spine tall. Then bring your seat down to the heels, hands over the heart. Blink your eyes open, stand up onto your shins. As you shift the weight to the left, the right foot steps forwards and hands to the ground. Spring forwards to the left foot as well to your forward fold. Start rolling all the way up to stand. Take a breath in, stretch the arms up overhead. And exhale, fold on forwards. Inhale, your right leg steps back. Right hand comes under the shoulder. Left arm stacks on top in a twisted, stable lunge. Now changing our mind, your left hand comes down to the inner left foot. Pivot and drop the back heel down and stretch the right arm to the sky. Now let that right arm reach up so much. Press powerfully through the feet so you can rise on up. Warrior 2. We'll get nice and flowy again, like a little sea creature. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, flow forwards, extended side angle. Could look a little bit like seaweed as well. Inhale, reverse that shape. Exhale, extended side angle. 2 more on your own. When you're finished up, we'll meet in Warrior 2, where you'll straighten out the front leg, send those left toes to the long edge of the mat, and hands can find your waist. Inhale, get a little bit more spacious in the spine, and exhale, dive on forwards over your legs. Let the hands find the ground. You can even walk your hands back in line with the heels to let the crown get heavier, tailbone a little lighter. Bring your fingertips ahead, lengthen out that spine. We're going to walk both hands over towards your left foot. Stretch your right hand a little bit further away, and then bend into the right knee. Optionally, you can also look under that right arm. Straighten out the right leg, walk the hands through center, then all the way over to the right. Left fingertips take a little bit of a longer reach. Bend into the left knee as you take a little peek under the left arm. Straighten out those legs, walk the hands through center, then all the way back towards the left foot in a lunge. Plant your palms and we'll step back, downward facing dog. Circular flow coming your way. Inhale, bring that current forwards. Exhale, hover the knees, press your hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forwards to plank. Exhale, knees lower, then chest and chin. Slide onto the belly, point the toes. Take a breath in, small cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Walk your hands towards you, sit back onto your heels. Then lift yourself tall on top of your shins, hands on waist. Lean back. Keep strong here. Hands can find something solid and send the heart and the hips forwards. Decide if you want to stay here or once again revisit those side bends. Keep the left hand where it is. Right arm reaches to the sky and look over your left shoulder. Switching sides, right hand finds your block or heel. Left arm stretches to the sky. Look over your shoulder. Bring that left hand back to something solid before you use those big muscles to lift you up. Sit back onto your heels with your hands over the heart. Blink your eyes open. Stand up onto your shins. Shift the weight to the right as the left foot steps ahead and hands find the ground. We're springing forwards into a forward fold. Get heavy in the heels, soften the knees as you roll back up to stand. Take a breath in as the arms stretch overhead. And exhale, dive back forwards. Now, as the fingertips find the ground this time, we're going to start softening into the knees, bringing our seat a little closer to the ground, and use your hands to walk back until your sit bones find the ground. And right away, we're going to find our boat pose. So nice long spine in one line back behind you. Use that core to hover the legs off the ground. From here, let's just anchor the feet onto the ground. Keep reaching forwards. And we're going to find a C curve in the spine, lowering back bone by bone. As the head finds the ground and the shoulders as well. Walk your feet a little closer to you, so stacked under the knees, hands down by your side. Anchor through the heels, squeeze the glutes as you roll the spine up into a bridge. And let's invite a deeper back bend in by rolling the shoulders underneath, either pressing the hands into the ground or clasping the palms and pressing those clasp fists into the ground. Let the hands come apart, make space for your hips to lower. And right away, we'll pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock from side to side. Now change the direction. We're rocking forwards and backwards on the spine. And similarly to how we began, every once in a while, see if you can find a boat pose. Rock back and forth a couple more times, finding some play here. And the next time you stick one, let's hold it. Let's take both hands over to the right side of your legs. Reach the right arm back behind you. Keep that spine long. And then bring the hands back forward, switching sides. Left arm reaches back. Bring it to the front. One more time each side. Little bit of a distraction as we hold this difficult pose floating here. And when you're all done, both sides, both feet anchor. Keep stretching the spine back, arms forwards as you slowly roll back to the back body. Bring your feet a little closer to you, and you have two choices for this back bend. You can revisit your bridge or come into wheel. So either way, dig the heels into the ground, roll the spine up bone by bone. Now feel free to continue on into bridge, or take your palms, flip them so the fingertips come towards the shoulders. Press firmly into the hands and feet until the crown of your head finds the ground. From here, decide if you want to go further, lifting up into your wheel. Now come down at any point, just reversing your steps. I'm going to hold for 3 more breaths. Lower down to the crown. Pull the chin to your chest, roll down to your back, and bring both knees into your chest for a little rock. Bring the soles of the feet to the ground. Cross your right ankle on top of your left knee. And we're going to send the whole set of your figure 4 legs over to the right side. Take up some space with the arms and let everything settle again. And we've gone from this really powerful practice. We're going to let those ripples soften, eventually coming all the way to stillness. Invite those breaths a little bit deeper, smoothing out the currents within. Let your knees rise up. Uncross your right ankle and we'll go straight into the second side. Left ankle on top of the right knee and the whole set of legs over to the left. Do your best to keep the shoulders on the ground and the body starts getting heavier, relaxing into this shape. Lifting your legs back up. Uncross that ankle. If there's any final movements to take, move that body now into those. And we'll start embracing some stillness when you're ready. Stretching the body long onto the mat. Toes fall apart. Hands up by your side. Rivers of power flowing everywhere, fields of magnetism relating everything. This is your origin. This is your lineage. The current of creation is right here, coursing through subtle channels, animating this very form. Follow the gentle touch of life, soft as the footprint of an ant, as tiny sensation open to vastness. Power sings as it flows, electrifies the organs of sensing, becoming liquid light, nourishing your entire being. Celebrate the boundary where the streams join the ocean, where body meets infinity. The Radiant Sutras, Sutra 44. Please stay here as long as you're able to today. This is where I leave you. I look forward to doing this again soon.